Hi everyone, I'm Christy Forsyth with Clarity by Christy. I am a soul therapist and an intuitive that connects with the angelic energy, and I help the helpers, the healers, and the light bringers of this world to live their most magical life. So we're going to talk about this week's energy, what to expect, what you need to know about it, and how we can make the most of this week's energy. So we're going to be talking a little bit about what's going on. We're going to be pulling some cards so that we have a really good sense of how to best navigate and how to get through this energy that we have going on right here. So what I love about this energy that we have going on really all throughout most of the month is that it is a very forward moving energy. I think for a long time we had all of those retrogrades and just a lot of energies that were slowing us down, and it felt slow. It felt like things weren't happening, things weren't developing, and then all of a sudden the energy moves forward and we're starting to see things happening. We're starting to see opportunities. We're starting to see things showing up in our experience to allow us to create, build, develop upon the things that matter the most to us. So I love that so much because it feels really good to be in action, although you might want to be just very mindful of being too much in action, right? Because sometimes this energy, I know for me, it almost feels like I've had too much coffee, right? It's a little bit jarring in some ways. It just feels like a lot running through me, but I'm really, really sensitive to the energy. So those of you who are energy sensitive, you'll know what I'm talking about. And it may make it a little bit more challenging to sleep at night, or for you to feel a little bit more peaceful or calm. So we just want to make sure that we're doing things to balance it out, that we're not overworking ourselves or burning ourselves out trying to take as much action as possible, but at the same time taking advantage of this energy and getting shit done, right? Doing the things that we need to be doing and taking care of all of that. So I said in the title that the word of the week is expansion, right? The word of the week is expansion. Really, it's the word of the month if we're keeping it real. It's such an important time of expansion. I think that we're going to find that, from the beginning of this month to the end of this month, so much is shifting, so much is changing, so much is developing. We are building upon the things that we've been working on for quite some time. And maybe they're things that we've been waiting on, that we felt frustrated with, or maybe not, but I definitely see this energy moving forward, and there's opportunities for us to build and develop and to work on things and to take things to the next level. I also see us being open to new opportunities. I think that there are openings here for new opportunities. So your job is to really just pay attention to what's showing up into your experience. What are you feeling inspired to do? What are you wanting to create? I think there's a lot of creative energy this week. So pay attention. If you're looking for ideas, if you're looking for solutions to the things that you're wanting to work on or wanting to create, put that out to the universe. Just say, please show me the way, and notice how this energy is really sparking ideas and showing us the way. Hi Shay, thanks for watching. So we are working on all of this and then just allowing things to come into our experience, whether it's opportunities, whether it's inspiration to take action in some way. Pay attention to the things that you're feeling called to do, the actions that you're feeling called to take, because I think that this is going to really help move things forward more quickly. If we can kind of take those inspired actions, those sparks that come in for us of intuition that are showing us what action we might want to take. If we're following through with that, I think that we're going to find that it's going to bring with it a lot more opportunity, a lot more expansion, a lot more growth. I also feel like when I connected with this energy, I feel like there is also a need to keep an open mind and an open heart. So depending on what your individual circumstances are, right? To be open to different ideas, different ways of doing things, and to also be open to one another. I think that this energy is inviting in more empathy and more compassion. And so sometimes that can actually feel overwhelming, right? We can start to try to shut ourselves down or to try to protect ourselves in some way. But what we really want to make sure that we're doing is that we are focusing on keeping an open heart and connecting with one another, listening to one another, empathizing with one another. I think there are great opportunities here for us to just connect a little bit more, understand each other a little bit more. And I think that this is really important because the collective energy that we're moving into is more connected, is more focused on the collective rather than the individual. So I think we're getting some little sparks of that so that it's helping to I guess flex our compassion muscles, maybe we'll call it. So we have all of that going on. I think also that there's a lot of room for expressing ourselves. There's a lot of room for speaking our truth, for saying the things that we need to say. And when I thought about communication, another word that came to mind for me was boundaries, right? And for us to really pay attention to the importance of expressing our boundaries. And there is sort of an energy here of us wanting to and needing to focus on self-love this week and what that means for us. And that looks a little bit different for everyone, right? But I think a huge piece of that self-love is in not only being aware of our boundaries, expressing our boundaries, and then maintaining our boundaries. Because our boundaries exist for a reason. I think that it's really important that when we become aware of a boundary that we need to set or that we need to maintain, that we honor that, because that is what our soul is showing us that we need. That is what our soul has guided us to in order for us to best navigate our life. So I think that it's really important that we're not giving in on those, that we're not breaking down on those, and that we have the strength, that we have that we go within and that we're willing to express what it is that we need, that we're willing to communicate our truth, even if it's going to upset people, even if it's going to maybe create an issue in that moment. But I think for the long term, if we can allow ourselves to express ourselves, if we can allow ourselves to communicate, this energy right now is really supporting positive communication. We're going to get better results now than if we wait out until May when we're going into Mercury retrograde, right? The communication is tough then. And I think right now with all of this compassionate energy and this communication energy, this is definitely a time, if we've been wanting to talk about something, communicate about something, or just share a truth of ours, this is a good time to do it. So definitely if you're feeling inspired to do that, if you're feeling prompted to do that, this is really important. And some of that may be boundaries is what I'm getting when I connect with that energy. So let's take a look at the cards that we have here. So we have the Eight of Cups, first of all. Okay, so we're in this time of expansion and growth, and we're developing things in our life that we have wanted to develop, that we have wanted to work on for a long time, whether they're outside of ourselves, whether they're within ourselves, whether it's, that personal development. And I think that we're exploring what aligns here for me and what doesn't align here for me, what doesn't fit with the direction where I want to go. And, again, I talked about boundaries, and I think if we're taking a look at boundaries and those honoring those for ourselves, taking a look at where those boundaries are not being honored, or where we don't feel like we can even set boundaries, and what we need to do about that, okay? So we have this Eight of Cups where we are maybe taking a leap of faith in terms of releasing things that don't align for us, letting go, making space for this expansion in this direction that we're heading. Because if the space is full in our energy field, we don't have room for expansion. So we have to go through and clear out. It's kind of like a closet, right? If you think about that, and if your closet is stuffed full, you can't fit any more in it. But if you go through and you take a look at what you have and what you're ready to let go of, this is a great time to create that space so that some really amazing things can be brought into our closet right now. We also have this King of Swords, right? And this for me is just that validation about communication this week, that we should be communicating, that we should allow when we feel called to speak up, even if we are afraid to express ourselves. What is that expression? Something about like speak your truth even if your voice shakes, right? It's kind of that energy is what I'm feeling, where it's like express yourself and have confidence enough in yourself to know that if this is what you want, or this is the direction that you want to go in, that you absolutely can do this, and that it's okay for you to express that. It's okay for you to say that. So it's a very throat chakra focused week, I would say. The next card that we have here is the Seven of Wands, right? So this is us exploring what's worth fighting for in my life and what's not. What is not in alignment with my expansion, and what is supporting my expansion, what is helping me to grow, develop, build, what is supporting that, what is contributing to my 10 of Cups, right? This is happy family, happy relationships, happy life, and we're exploring what is draining my cup and what is filling my cup, and what does my ideal vision look like in terms of all of those things that I want to have happen in life. So I think we need to be making our decisions around what that 10 of Cups looks like for us, what that vision of a happy life looks like for us, because we're here to create heaven on earth. And it's important that we are really making our decisions in alignment with what that heaven on earth feels like. Even if we need to speak a truth, we need to communicate something that's difficult. So the next card that we have here is the Seven of Cups. So we have options. We have choices ahead. And I really feel like this is about timelines, okay? So when I talk about timelines, for me, timelines are about different directions that we can take our life path, okay? And I see us really in a place where we can decide if we want to play it small with some things and to ignore the things that we want and we need, or we can go within, we can listen to ourselves, we can listen to our intuition and let that be our guide and make our decisions from that place. What is guiding me to my 10 of Cups? What is bringing me there? We also have the Two of Cups, right? And this can sometimes be a soul connection, a soulmate connection. And I definitely think that there is kind of a nice connection energy here this week, but for me this is showing up because there is a nice connection energy here this week. So it may not necessarily be about connecting with people in a romantic way, although it certainly could be for people who are single and available, right? But this is really about, in my opinion, the people that we need for our expansion, for that best timeline that we're choosing for ourselves, for the direction that our soul is guiding us. We're going to see people showing up into our experience that are helping to support that are helping to guide that are helping to give us the tools, the information, the support, the whatever it is like that's missing that we don't necessarily have ourselves, that will help us to have that success, to have that expansion, to grow and build and develop. The last cards that we have here, and these two came out together, which I thought was really, really interesting. So we have the Justice card in reverse, and that came out with the Judgment card. So again, I see us taking a look at our lives and exploring the things that maybe didn't feel fair, haven't felt fair. We might even catch ourselves saying, like, it just isn't fair. Why didn't it work out the way that I wanted it to? Why didn't it go the way that I wanted it to? And you might even find yourself feeling like you're throwing a little bit of a temper tantrum about it, you know, or however that looks for you. But I definitely feel like something feels like an injustice, or something feels wrong or unfair here this week. And I think that with that judgment card showing up, this is really saying, number one, that you don't have to do anything about that yourself. You know, when someone has wronged you, when someone has done something that is unfair, we have to understand that the energy that we put out is the energy that we receive. And so our job is to just pay attention to putting out good energy, putting out the kind of energy that we want to receive back into our experience. And so if someone has treated you unfairly, if someone has done something that feels unfair to you, unjust to you, understand that if that is, you know, that they will receive the same energy back from the universe that they're putting out there. So my point is, you don't have to do anything. In fact, I never recommend getting out there and actively trying to have revenge on anyone. Let the universe sort it out. Let karma sort it out. It'll sort itself out. And so you may feel emotional about a situation, and there might be this temptation to do something back that kind of makes it feel more balanced or fair. But at the end of the day, that's your karma. At the end of the day, you then are going to have to answer to that. You know, you're going to receive that energy back in some way, shape, or form at some point in your life. So I think that that's really, really important, and that we understand that things will come back into balance, and anything that isn't working, you know, I think that the universe will take care of it, and that the universe is hard at work to bring in amazing opportunities, expansion, all of the good things into our life. So we just have to kind of do what we're inspired to do this week, pay attention to all of that, and allow the universe to bring amazing things, amazing opportunities into our experience. So I think that it's going to, all in all, be a really great week. Definitely take action where you feel called to take action. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. If this video resonates with you, make sure you hit that like button. Make sure you hit that heart. I always love to hear from you guys in comments below. If you feel called, please also share this video. I always appreciate it. It helps me to get this video out to more people. And thank you guys so much. I will see you soon with another video. Take care, guys.